The views expressed on the Midvale Main Street Theater podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Midvale Main Street Theater, its owners, advertisers, or volunteers.
Yes! This is what this show needs right now.
This is.
Oh my God.
Because no.
Line! What's going on? Welcome back to the Midvale Main Street Theater podcast. I am your host, Michael Howell, and yeah, let's just jump into the news this week. First thing that we have is Disenchanted did close a couple nights ago at this point. And yeah, I just wanted to shout them out in this specifically because they had such a good show. It was such a good run. It was fun for me just going into that show with zero expectations. I had no positive, no negative. It was just a blank slate, and I came in and was just blown away by the talent of these girls on stage. It was so much fun, too. It was just such a great show. Just wanted to congratulate the cast, the crew, everybody. It was such a fun show, and yeah, be proud of it because you should be. And next up on the news, I guess, is that We Will Rock You did get cast. You know, I was talking about it a couple of weeks ago on this podcast. Since then, we did get a cast list, and we've actually done our first read-through, so that's very awesome. I'm not going to bore you guys with the cast list itself, just because there are 30-plus people in the cast. So if you are interested, just go online, hop online, you'll be able to find it there. But yeah, get excited for this show. Like I said, we did do our first read-through. There's going to be so much talent on that stage. It's insane. Yeah, it's going to be great. Brush up on your Queen music because there's a hell of a lot of it. And yeah, just get excited. It's going to be such a fun show. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, that's all we have for news this week. So, yeah, I did want to jump into the episode today. This episode is going to be very awesome for you guys. I have been wanting to have my friend Tasha on this podcast basically since I started the podcast. And we finally were able to sit down with her. She had flown in from Seattle to go see a couple shows here. So we stole a couple hours with her and did this podcast, and it turned out awesome. You guys will hear. But, yeah, what today's episode is, I decided to bring her on and my wife Ashley on and do what I've been calling hot takes. I actually got the idea of this from The Starters, which is an NBA podcast. I don't know if you guys are interested, but they do a couple episodes where they just kind of discuss general topics, and this is one of their ideas where they bring controversial opinions to the group and they kind of discuss and dissect those opinions. So it was very fun. It was such a good time with Tasha. We got so much material out of it too. So I'm very excited for you guys to hear part one of today's episode. And yeah, just sit back, relax, enjoy, grab a drink, and enjoy this episode called Hot Takes.
Good morning.
No, you stole it. That was my one intro.
Are you serious?
No, I have no idea what I'm doing. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Midvale Main Street Theater podcast. I am your host, Michael Howell, and I am feeling a little uncomfortable right now, so I'm just going to introduce who else is on with us. As always, we have Ashley Howell on the podcast. Hello.
As always.
Yes, say hello.
Hello.
Perfect. And returning special episode, drum roll, we have Tasha back on the episode. Yeah, how's it going, Tasha?
Long time coming.
It's going really well.
She's practicing her recording voice because
So I don't come off like a demented squirrel.
Right, a demented squirrel, exactly.
I do,
well,
so just embrace it.
Okay, great.
Sure.
I'm ready for this.
Well, we're very happy to have Tasha on because she stole away a couple hours of her busy schedule to come hang out with us, drink some drinks, have some fun on the podcast. So thank you so much.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is
I feel
probably
like
going to
this
be
is
a
live
train
and
wreck.
I'm on the radio right now.
I know.
You are.
This is the most pressure you probably ever had in your life.
You know, I don't really have that much pressure, so it might
Right. Sure. Well,
get it.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good episode today. I have asked both Ashley and Tasha, and I've come up with myself, we are going to discuss what I've been calling hot takes. Yeah, it's just something that I was actually inspired by another podcast called The Starters, and they did something similar like this, where they just take controversial opinions, present them to the group, and then we all kind of discuss and rate them. So, yeah, does that sound like fun for you guys?
Yeah, we're both super controversial people who love conflict. So I think you picked the right two people.
Yeah, have you guys seen all of my posts of all the controversy?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's why it was important for you guys to be on the episode today.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of anxiety about it, but
it's going to be fine. Anyway, why don't we just get started? So we started with a shot, and here we go. I thought we'd just dive into it. Do either of you have strong feelings about going first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Yeah,
okay,
Michael.
You start this thing, you host.
Just to kind of preface this, I asked them to come up with controversial opinions. Does not have to be theater related, but if they are, that's great. And I'm going to go into my first hot take, and it's theater related. So here we go. It's kind of, well, actually, which one do I want to start with? One second. Do you guys want a movie one, or do you want a musical one?
No, you don't ask. You just do it.
Why not?
The one
Which
you
one do
feel
you want?
passionate about.
I feel passionate about both of these. Is the problem?
Maybe we ease it in. Like, what's your less controversial one?
Okay,
Yeah, let's
less
start light.
controversial.
Let's do light.
All right. Live action Disney movies are stupid. That's my first one. I just think that they're just rehash old material. The animated movie is always way better than the live action one. And I know she's
It's too bad you can't see faces.
But the thing, like, okay, so this came from the new live action Aladdin trailer.
Okay.
And I thought it looked pretty good for all things considered.
What
but then
about Will?
everybody in the comment section,
how'd you feel about the way
I
Will
thought
looks?
it was fine. It wasn't the best,
Well,
obviously.
also, what else are you going to do with it, too? You know?
Right,
Like,
if it's
people
a
make
live
fun of
action
it, but,
thing.
like, what else are you going to do with the genie? Do you
But
know what I
that's
mean?
the thing. Everyone in
He's
the
a
comments
genie.
section
he's blue.
was bitching about everything
He's a
about
fake
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Genies don't exist.
Right.
They're like,
Why
that
do you care
doesn't
if
look
he's
right.
blue
And it's
and
like,
doesn't
what
have
should he look like?
eyebrows?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, everyone just bitches about every little thing about these things, and it's just like Disney just has not had any good, strong, like, thoughts for movies since Moana, since 2016. And so they're just trying to make money off these. That's my first one.
Just say, the first thing that popped into my mind when you said that was I was so excited to see Alice in Wonderland, and that was a huge disappointment for me.
Right. I mean,
So I don't know if I got to think of more. Dude! My son is trying to get into the cat food, so that's where we're at right now.
It's because they didn't feed him until almost 8:30.
You're right. Have you guys seen him? He looks super starved.
Big
Skin and bones!
but yeah, no, I agree. The first Alice in Wonderland wasn't good. The second one wasn't good either. Tasha, it seems like you have something you really want to say.
I know. I was going to save her for last because of this face.
Here's what my thought is.
Okay.
I think that you have to realize I never go into watching a live Disney movie thinking that it's going to be better than the animated version.
Okay.
But it appeals to the nostalgia that I have living in my heart to see it on a different like medium and a different type of movie.
But that's the thing, like, it's never going, is it any better? Like, would you rather be watching that than, let's say, the animated version of Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Right. Thank you for saying that, Tasha. I'm glad you agree with me.
I also feel like it brings it to a new generation, though. The people
Maybe,
that are
yeah.
obsessed with, like, the high quality effects. And,
Those
like, that
people
kind
need
of
to
stuff.
learn to appreciate the classics.
Well,
Agreed.
sometimes that's not going to
I'm one of those like old, like traditional old ladies in my soul where I'm like, you will like the original animated.
Right.
And I don't disagree. I don't think you should not like the original
But
ones.
it's a different take. I get what you're saying.
I guess see what you're saying, but why not just re-release the animated version? Because it's the better version, you know? Everyone bitched about Emma Watson playing Belle, and she wasn't great, you know? It was like,
I loved her, so.
okay, well, you know.
My hot take is that I loved Emma Watson. Beauty and the Beast.
Do you love the auto-tune
liked
that she
Emma
put on her
Watson,
voice, too?
You know what? She did better than I thought she was going to
I
do. So
agree
maybe,
with that.
Maybe my
I agree with
thing
that.
is you just have to go in with lowered expectations.
But why?
Because I said so.
Why not? Okay. But if you have a
Shut
near
down.
perfect movie like The Lion King, why do you have to go watch Beyonce?
That was one of
in
the hot
Lion
takes
King?
that I saw when I was prepping for this was The Lion King is garbage. So that actually made me
Wow.
laugh. That was one of the only Disney
That
ones
is a
that I
hot
saw.
take.
That specifically was The Lion King is
Right.
garbage.
I heard one of the ones I saw was that Frozen is the worst animated movie that Disney has ever done.
I almost came out with that it was overrated because Michael and I feel that strongly.
Definitely is overrated.
But
it's
I
not
still
the
love
worst
it.
animated movie that they've done.
I wouldn't.
It made
say
me
that.
cry so much.
I loved it.
It still makes
But
me
it's
cry.
just that there was so much hype. You know what I mean? That it made it.
Right.
It wasn't going to live up to that for me. It was
Right.
too much.
Okay, well,
Anyway, live action Disney movies are stupid, and I stick by it. I don't
That's a
see
hill
the
you're
appeal.
gonna die on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't see why we need.
When he picks his
'cause-
battles, this is what it's about.
But like,
I'm gonna put that
Why-
on your tombstone.
why are we doing a live action Lion King when it's all CGI things
I don't
anyway?
actually disagree with that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I don't.
And you're just animating all of the
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book. You're animating all those animals, but you're animating all of the furniture and Beauty and the Beast. It's like they're just trying to make more money, and that's all it is. I don't see any creativity or anything from that, and it's just I'm sick of it.
It'd
I'm
be
sick
so much
of all
work
of them.
too. I don't really get it. It'd be so much work.
Well, they
to-
make a shitload of money. That's the only reason Disney does these.
Yeah.
It just, I'm such a like nostalgia type bitch that like it
That
just
word.
appeals to my heart
Did you
so
say
much.
nostalgia tie?
Nostalgia type
Oh,
bitch.
I like nostalgia tie, and it would have 2 eyes at the end. So
Gotcha.
it would be.
Multiple nostalgias is nostalgia
I'm
time.
nostalgia Natasha.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
who I am.
that's-
Nostalgia tie,
yes.
Natasha.
So I think that that's what it is.
I like
Gotcha.
it.
Also, I'm protective of an underdog, and I feel like people who come out and just bash shit all the time are just kind of miserable human beings.
I will agree with that.
so
for sure.
I'll sit there and just
Right.
defend them
And
to
I'm
my
not
death.
saying that these movies are terrible. They're
No,
just
I-
never
He
as
is.
good.
He is
Just
saying that.
saying.
He is. He's just backpedaling at
Thank
this
you,
point.
Ashley. No,
Because nostalgia tie, Natasha. I'm going to say that 5 times later. Like, give me like
Yeah.
a few more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shots.
a few more
Yeah,
shots.
great.
Perfect. Okay. Well, it seems like I am not getting any agreement from you guys. So maybe we should move on a little bit.
Here's what I agreed with. I agreed that they are no better by any means than the original.
They're never
So if
better.
you're going to spend your time, I mean, I think it's fine to go watch a different take, but I can't say that I've ever thought it came even close to the original.
And you
that
really
I ever,
liked the Cinderella that came out. And you'll still say that the animated Cinderella was better. right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what makes me feel nostalgic. I don't know if I feel like the same nostalgia, honestly, when I watch the live action stuff. I think it's fun to go see a different take on it, so I can see both sides. Maybe I'm Switzerland in this because I get
Okay.
that, but I could never say that they're better than the
Sure.
original.
No, and I'm not saying that either. So that is not what I am saying.
Right.
I
So
Well-
don't misunderstand, Natasha.
Right.
Nostalgia,
Natasha.
I like that.
nostalgia,
Nostalgia.
Tasha is not disagreeing.
Okay.
But also.
Okay. Well, maybe
She's a
I'm
peacemaker.
modifying my hot take to after Aladdin. Let's just
You
be
can't
done.
modify your hot
It's-
take.
Well, after
in
Aladdin,
addition
aren't we
Own your
kind of
hot
like
take.
We've done all the really good classic Disney movies.
Maybe
until
we're
we
getting-
do Frozen, the live action.
Oh my God.
And it will be
Kill me
different
now.
than.
To
the
be fair,
musical.
that Frozen 2 trailer looks pretty good.
I don't think
I'm
I
excited.
understood anything. That
I
was
didn't
didn't
either,
going on.
but I was into whatever was happening.
Right.
I
So
wanted
we'll
to.
see.
I wanted to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So that means that I'm interested.
yeah,
But that's the thing. Like,
But I didn't.
but
Disney.
that's original, so that's also different.
Right. But Disney is. They've done some fairly decent things recently. Moana was their last awesome one to me. But, live action and animated Disney, when they're creative, can do really good things. So why not focus on that rather than rehashing everything that's been done before?
Revivals.
I just feel like millennials are such a nostalgic group of people
Mm.
that that's the reason they're doing, because we're the ones that are spending money to go to movies.
Right,
And so
and
they're
that's-
making movies that are appealing to this nostalgic generation of people who are in love with the original animated
It's a
movies.
targeted demographic, and it's us
And they are
Michael.
targeting me, and I.
And,
And
she's
they're
like,
making
"Take my money."
Yep, exactly.
And Michael's like, "Nope."
yeah,
Even though I'm still going to go see it.
No, I haven't seen. I
We
think
didn't
the
see Jungle Book. We didn't see.
I only saw Beauty and the Beast because it was on Netflix. I haven't seen any of the live action.
Let me
ones,
just.
actually.
Michael fell asleep halfway through Beauty and the Beast. Ashley
There you
saw
go.
Beauty and the Beast, but Michael was sleeping.
There you go.
So,
Anyway, that's my hot take. I stick with it. Anyway,
but
I like that. Let's end them like that.
Okay,
Let's do that.
okay.
Okay, perfect. Who
I
wants to
like
go
it.
next?
Ashley?
I'll do it.
All right, Ashley's got the next hot take. Here we go.
Okay. This is okay. If you want to cut out my preface for this, you can.
Okay.
This is. So I feel this in the depths of my soul.
I like
Okay,
this.
so we're not starting light.
I
We're
feel
going
this.
straight to the killer.
This is probably the one that I feel.
Is it that Ted Bundy
the
was
most-
misunderstood or something?
I feel this to the depths of my soul, and The unfortunate thing is that I don't think it's a surprise to either of you. Unfortunately, I think you both know this.
Okay.
I want your honest opinions. Sorry for the preface. I don't care. It needs to be said because I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me.
Here we go.
Here it is.
I love it.
Michael's trying to cut me off. He's like, go bitch. Tasha.
You can do this.
Tasha's comforting me. My heart is racing. It is... The Hillary Swank is not hot. That's not it. That's not it.
Oh no, that's such a good hot
It had
take.
to be done. That's not it. But it is.
But she's not hot.
She is a beautiful movie star, you guys. Okay, that's not
The
it.
obvious
I'm not
symmetry
voting.
of the
Nobody
face.
cares.
I'm not voting. Nobody cares. Okay.
Okay.
Amazing.
So it actually is that in its traditional form, all Thanksgiving food is garbage.
Yes.
It is garbage.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you be more specific?
Yes.
Can you tell me like what its original form is? That like
Yeah,
what those
just the-
key points are.
Yeah.
Green bean casserole.
Oh, disgusting. 100.
Honestly, and people love to say to me, they're like, Ashley, you probably just haven't had good Thanksgiving food. I'm almost 30 years old. I've been around for some Thanksgivings, you guys.
But don't you go to the same Thanksgiving all the time with the same people cooking?
Not always.
You go to
Well,
the same
the problem
families,
is
right?
that she married me, and my family's way worse than her family at cooking Thanksgiving food.
But I mean,
so.
there's different sides of the family, and then there's like family friends, and
So
then
it's not
there's
always like,
no,
my grandma
and people bring
always cooked
different
Thanksgiving
things.
growing up.
Yeah, I don't think we're huge on like the same person brings the same thing necessarily. So I feel like I've had some different Thanksgiving components.
Sure.
If I'm trying to sound like an
it.
intellectual.
Yeah, I like it.
But here's how I feel. I genuinely feel like I shouldn't have to be forced to sit and eat that shit until I'm in an assisted living facility. I literally don't feel like I should have to be subjected to that until I'm like too old to
Until
care anymore.
someone is feeding you.
Yes. Okay, so
but no,
let's
I
break
think
it
is,
down.
I think it's very important
Okay.
to break down
I think
exactly
that there
what
are
food
good
you're
versions
talking
of
about.
some of these food actually, but they choose traditionally the shitty versions of
Okay,
those.
so
If anybody
we're gonna
wants
do
to
a
invite me
checklist. We're
to
gonna
a
do
Thanksgiving
checklist.
dinner that doesn't suck ass, I'll be the judge of that.
So we already discussed green bean casserole,
Yes.
which is shit in all its forms.
Awful.
Mushroom cream soup
I
is
think-
absolutely disgusting.
Right.
So
I
you can't put green beans in it and make it better.
Here's some controversy. I think stuffing is freaking gross.
Oh, I do too. I like stovetop stuffing, and that's it.
Okay, me too.
I think it's gross.
Me too.
Honestly, you guys, this is going to be one of the most controversial. I convince myself every Thanksgiving that I'm looking forward to and am excited about pumpkin pie.
No.
No.
Okay, it seems like you're agreeing with Ashley a
listen.
little
I'm
bit
really
here.
surprised.
Turkey is dry,
Yes,
not good.
So gross.
but
Please tell. Okay, I'm sorry. We have to. Michael and I were playing categories the other night, right?
Yeah.
We were playing categories, and our letter, for those of you who know how to play categories, was G, and it said things to do with leftover turkey, and my answer was garbage.
Garbage it.
Garbage
Like
it.
a verb.
Like throw that shit
Right.
away.
okay, turkey is dry. But listen, the thing about Thanksgiving is that you put it all on one regular size plate, so it kind of all morphs together into one.
This is not convincing me because
I know,
I
it
hate
sounds
when my
even
food
worse.
touches.
Listen, no, I do. But listen, turkey is dry, but if you put mashed potatoes and gravy on it, it tastes pretty good.
I love mashed potatoes.
Okay, same.
I really do. I feel like
I don't
feel
hate.
like
They're
I
just-
have to go.
It's
I love
overrated.
potatoes in most of their almost. I'm going to say 90% of their forms. I'm not like a hash brown girl. Anyway, I had a bad experience when I was little. Have you ever
Tasha's
queued something
face.
up that just you can't do it anymore?
Burger King.
That's me. Yeah.
Olive burger.
Olive.
The BK.
That particular time, I was eating everything from Burger King.
I tried one of everything. Maybe
That's
it all
probably
came
it.
back up. No, I can't do any of it.
Oh, my hell.
No, I do want to say as well, before anybody gets super pissed off at me, yes, I understand the point of Thanksgiving. Yes, I'm down for the concept of Thanksgiving, but the food is torturous. And I'm sick of...
You can accomplish the same thing with
I'm
pizza and wings.
I don't understand why you'd waste your calories on it. Everybody's like, I'm so excited. Like, I've been eating good so that I can just like stuff my face on Thanksgiving. And I'm like, stop lying to yourselves. It's not worth
love
any
this.
calories.
I will
honestly.
eat-
It's terrible.
I will eat mashed potatoes.
I think you've been brainwashed.
No. I'm gonna bring you some mashed potatoes.
That would be
Really
the one thing. And you know what? I love bread. I have anybody who knows me knows that I love
Here's the
bread,
thing.
but they're always shitty rolls.
Can we trade
Not
out?
if you get good ones.
Can we?
Nobody ever does.
Can we trade
going to the
out
wrong
the
places for
brown water gravy for white actual good gravy?
Yes,
that would
help me.
What?
That would help me.
White gravy is disgusting.
Oh my! That is a hot take right there. Because the white gravy is way better than brown gravy.
Guys, maybe we should rate because I feel
object.
like mine is doing pretty good.
You can't change the system because you're doing well.
Yep.
Fine. Are you sure? Because that's
Okay.
how I live my life. That's what I live my life
Okay,
by.
but it sounds to me, Tasha, like you're saying what most people say. Fuck, Salem's going.
Michael, language. Michael did not just say that.
He did. It's okay.
Sorry, I'm back.
Just did
Continue.
some last 5
Yes.
Okay.
So what am I
So it
saying?
sounds to me, Tasha, like you're saying what I've heard most defenses of Thanksgiving food is. Oh yeah, the food is shit, but just cover it in gravy and then it will be better. Why not just drink the gravy and call it good or something along those lines, you know?
Or you could do what Michael and I did, which literally Michael and I on Thanksgiving, we would have been at Chili's had it been open.
Yeah.
But we
That was
made
our plan.
honey lime chicken enchiladas and they were freaking amazing. And I was the happiest that I've ever been when I decided not to be
You told me
lied
that,
to.
and I was really excited for you.
Tasha's the most supportive, even when she doesn't agree with this.
I think that had
Well,
you had
here-
your food and had I given you a plate full of the enchiladas.
I would have eaten. Well, listen, remember how I thought I was allergic to gluten this Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Yes.
So my Thanksgiving was very sad this year. So I would have absolutely.
As it has been every year. I'm gonna just kidding.
But
Listen,
Okay.
all food that.
oh my god, okay.
That's just kind of my like general motto with life. It's like if you don't like a certain food, you just put a bunch of other shit on top of it to cover up the taste. So
But then it's all those
gravy, cheese,
Why get-
ranch dressing,
Yeah.
fry it.
That's a fair point.
But why
That is a
get
fair
bloated
point.
for this? Why get bloated for this? Why not just make what you really want to have? Which is
also
what we
think
did.
That cranberry
And I felt
sauce in a
great.
can is delicious.
Ugh. And I felt
had
so
it.
grateful after I had the enchiladas that I wasn't eating senior citizen food. I'm sorry to all the old people. I'm sure
Yeah,
I just
we have a huge 75
that's our
plus
demographic. You
on the
told me that
Midvale
it
Main
was,
Street Theater
Michael.
podcast.
Michael told me it was 75 plus were
This is
downloading the
offensive
most.
to my grandmother.
Who is
sorry.
a rabid. Fuck, I just tried to combine three words.
She is a
there.
rabid Thanksgiving
Yeah,
food
no,
eater.
she's a rabid MMST podcast fan. So,
rabid.
all right. So Ashley's
probably
hot
offend you.
take.
5.
Ashley
get a
rates
vote.
herself as a 5.
I rate Ashley as a -5 for trying to change the rules.
Michael.
What?
What would you rate me? What number would you give me as your
A
hot take
0
rating?
to keep it impartial. So what?
Did you understand what I just did though?
What?
What number would you give me as your hot take rating?
Oh, throwing back to Charlie Brown there.
Wah, wah.
You were there.
You were there.
Thanksgiving food. Da-dun. I like it. All right, Tasha. You are up.
Okay.
Ooh, evil
Mine
laughs.
are
I
lighter
like
than
it.
Thanksgiving food. Okay. To preface it, NSYNC is
we
the
go.
best boy band, but 98 Degrees is better than Backstreet Boys.
Ooh. Okay. I gotta say, this is gonna be hard for me because 98 Degrees was kind of before my time.
Michael's a baby.
Yeah. And I honestly didn't even love Backstreet Boys. My bands were NSYNC and Smash Mouth. So,
Those are two.
but it was NSYNC's No Strings Attached and it was Smash Mouth's All Star. Just
right.
those two albums. Anyway,
Well, you don't count anymore,
Smash Mouth,
so.
no.
sorry. Smash Mouth is underrated, super underrated. There's my hot take.
Hey,
Ashley's,
now
I
you're an
think-
all-star.
There it is. That's the one song I know. And I say that Smash Mouth is underrated. I think Ashley's looking up some 98 Degrees songs here.
Do you not know what they are?
No, I do.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just trying
what-
to refresh my memory.
What are 98 Degrees' best like hit songs for you?
The Hardest Thing, Invisible Man.
Okay.
Those are the classics.
Those are that was number
The
1 and
first
3.
two.
Perfect.
Okay.
1 and 3.
Two.
I do cherish you.
Oh, perfect wedding song for the late 90s, early 2000s.
So my
They
question.
had both the Lachey brothers and
okay.
that other Jeff guy. The one guy was not. I can't even think of his name. He was weird looking.
Did you say, so what you said was NSYNC is the best, but 98 Degrees is better than Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I needed to preface that I
Taryn
know.
would be so disappointed in
Aaron
you.
said that when I told him that. He's like, Taryn's going to be mad.
Is she a big Backstreet Boys fan?
Yeah.
Is she a big MMST rabid fan as well? Will she hear this?
I think literally
I'm going to tell her
everybody
to
is.
listen to
Okay,
it.
good.
So.
Tell
Yeah.
her there's a surprise for her on it.
Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Um,
I'm going to play one.
Yes, that's a good thing.
So
is
that
this
might
In the
more?
background while you give your next
But is
hot
this
take, Michael.
more like you love 98 Degrees, or is this more kind of a hate on Backstreet Boys?
No, because I also loved Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
But
Same.
they are number 3
So-
on
I
my rating
always
list.
I was always more of an NSYNC girl than
Always.
Backstreet
Me
Boys.
too.
Yeah, which
You were
I was
always more
way
of
more of an NSYNC girl.
Well, you don't
Dude,
know.
Michael was the
I
ultimate
knew that
NSYNC girl.
album front to back. I was like
Guys,
the
I
biggest.
was
Let's prove it.
I was listening.
Oh, we should.
I was listening to Aaron Carter was honestly what was going on with me, but it's fine.
That was after Backstreet Boys, wasn't it? That was
Aaron Carter?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Nick Carter was Backstreet Boys.
right.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
So those weren't
They
the
were
same
gone-
time.
they were gone
He
for
was a
me.
fetus at that point.
a literal
twinkle in
fetus.
his mother's eye.
Okay.
You can
Oh.
cut that out. Now I feel like an idiot. Thanks, Tosh.
You know
kidding.
know that I won't cut anything you ask me to. So
Oh yeah.
here we go.
I do.
I just think it was important that I preface that NSYNC was the top
That
spot.
was
Right.
important.
Okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
This is some good like love making music.
What is that?
This is
Yeah,
it.
my middle school self was making love to this.
Right.
Maybe that
Me
should be.
too.
Maybe that should be my hot take, Michael. Is that
Smash
those are the
Mouth.
grossest of words because I hate those words.
Love-making
I
music?
don't say. I call it LM. I don't say that. I hate those two words. Cringy.
LM. Oh yeah,
You
love
know
making.
that.
Yeah.
I don't. Stop it.
She doesn't like it when people say making love.
Oh, it's ML. Yeah.
right,
It's all bad.
right. So, 98 Degrees. Did you have crushes on these guys
Yeah,
more than the
absolutely.
Backstreet Boys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or-
100%.
Okay, which
The
one was
only
the one?
good one in the Backstreet Boys was AJ.
Was AJ the one with the douche beard? I forget.
He's
like
the
the,
one with the-
chin strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
He was
so
the bad
you
boy,
were
you know?
into the bad boys in middle school then.
Who did you like in NSYNC? Oh, I loved Lance Bass, which started
Really?
me on an entire road of falling in love with gay men.
That was
There
not
you
me.
go.
That was not me. Nope.
JT, I mean, come on, he had ramen noodle hair, so he was
Right?
He looked
Right?
he looked doofy back then.
Michael.
So he did.
I'll be honest though.
We all
During all
did.
this time, you guys, I honestly was just listening to the Eagles. So
Right.
all I was doing was listening to like
So you were making actual musicians happy, proud.
probably
was-
And
Yeah.
I was listening to pop
trash.
music.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's how
That
it
sound
goes.
needs to be the opener.
We'll see.
That was Tasha both times.
All right. Well,
Types.
98 Degrees, better than Backstreet Boys, still worse than NSYNC.
I'm so sorry, Taryn.
Ba-dum.
Like what you're hearing? Please remember to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or wherever else you're listening. Also remember to find us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and now on YouTube at MMST Podcast. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Okay. My next hot take. I will go next.
So this is
Well,
the
you're
juicier one, right?
Can we?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have a break.
Let's do one more shot before we go into round 2 here.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of
Keep the
nice.
cameras
I
rolling
love doing
forever.
the 2-part episodes because that's
Tasha?
one
Hi,
month's
what is
worth
it?
of
Oh,
stuff.
Ready?
How I
You
taught you?
had to hit the thing on the table.
We only started doing this because we met a couple, and the guy was from Spain and the woman was from France. So we felt super cool and international with them.
Of course.
But he would always do that
Hit the
because
table.
And then
yeah.
him and Michael had like a bro moment. And
Well, because in Spain they hit the thing on the table if they want to get laid that night. That's what that means.
Michael
So,
does it every time that he has
well.
a shot now. Every time.
like
And I
that.
always do what you do. I feel like I need to after he does it because you don't
No,
want to be
if
left
two
out.
people do it, it's like, okay, this is a thing. So I want to respect your
Culture.
in your home.
Michael's culture. Michael's European
your
culture.
European
Yeah.
Spanish descent.
Look at my beautiful caramel skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dark beauty.
As it's bright red from all these shots
If you
right
don't
now.
know Michael has very pink skin.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, my next hot take. Are you guys ready for it?
Yes.
don't know.
All right. I better
give
get
Tasha a
ready.
minute.
We are going here. I want to read a couple names to start this one out, okay?
Oh, God. Okay, we go.
Joe Bennett, Charles Minor, Ryan Howard, David Wallace, Jan Levinson Gould. Okay, keep those names in mind.
Lovely Jan.
Right. Okay, keep those in mind because my hot take is that season 8 of The Office is super underrated because Robert California is the best boss above the regional manager in The Office. Boom. Season 8 is way better than a couple seasons in The Office because I love Robert California so much.
What seasons in The Office?
Specifically season 6 and a little bit of season 7.
Okay.
Yep. I feel like season 8 kind of returned to form a little
Michael,
bit.
you
with
know
The
that these
Office.
are not the ones that I frequent.
I'm aware, but you've seen them at least a couple times.
Are you familiar with the names and who they were?
She hates. She hates Charles Minor. That's one of the worst things.
He was the worst one.
He's sexy.
I liked him.
But he's a douchebag.
Just, what he meant to the show is what I liked about him. But yeah, he was an asshole. But
What did he mean to the show?
just that he,
Douchebaggery?
yeah, it was
what
just brought conflict and tension to it. You know, the end of
He
the
was
season.
the only one that didn't really like Jim, and so it brought like
And that was
tension
awesome.
out.
I thought that was super funny.
Right.
I only hate him because you're supposed to hate him.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just hate him because you're supposed to, but I can
Right.
definitely appreciate what he is on the show. for
Right.
sure.
But my problem is that everyone says that season 8 is the worst of The Office by far. And I just don't disagree. I think there are some awesome moments in season 8. Namely, and I wrote them down,
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, bullet points.
it has the best Halloween episode.
Which
Remind
is
me.
It's
Yeah.
the one where...
with the fears.
Yes.
Okay.
Robert California and the Fears, and Erin's trying to throw the Halloween party and needs to make it more
And
adult
she
and
thinks that
everything.
Andy is going to fire her.
Right, that whole thing.
The game of cards that gets you.
Right. So the garden party episode is hilarious.
I love the garden
That's
Love that episode.
amazing.
That whole arc when they go to Tallahassee, very cool, very unique for the
Although
show.
Kathy is the worst.
Yes, definitely. But again, she's like a Charles Minor worst. You're supposed to not like
I love her so
So,
much. I'll always love you,
better
Kathy.
than season 6 and 7 too. I wanted to mention this because you don't get Steve Carell half-assing it. It's hard for me to watch Steve Carell
Sure.
sometimes,
Yeah.
in those later seasons because he's just like,
Except for right at the end.
How
when
could you
he
do
knew it
this
was
to
gonna
me?
be done.
Michael turned me on so much to Steve Carell, like he just bugged the living shit out of me before. Michael got me to love him so much, and now I love him, and now you're ripping my heart out when you say that to
But
me. I know what you're
can-
saying,
okay.
but I don't notice it because I love him so much.
well, that's good. And maybe it's just that I've watched
the
this
person
show
that I
too
love.
many times.
Zaddy now.
He is.
Like he aged so
He's
well.
way
Right?
hotter now. We were
Doesn't make
watching
any- it's not
Beautiful Boy.
fair.
Have you seen that
I
movie?
haven't.
Okay.
You told me to watch it.
Watch it. No, I said don't.
You said if
I
you
said
wanna
do
cry.
it. Yeah, I said do
Right.
it, but don't.
Which I always want to
And
cry.
Steve Carell was
Which
awesome
I
in
always
it.
want to hate my life.
But Steve Carell was really awesome in it. But Ashley, every 5 minutes, was like, "Damn, look how hot Steve Carell
He was
is
so
in
hot.
this."
Like I've said that through sobs. Like I was
Yeah.
crying, but I was like, he's so hot though.
It's
My
true.
baby
Yeah.
grew up and he's so hot. He's
Yeah.
my baby now, I guess.
Yeah.
I just said baby.
Baby.
It's a different context.
Yeah.
Like you're not saying, "Hey, baby."
Right.
Baby.
Yeah, we're
When
talking
you told
about
me that you have to do that.
It's gonna
I
be
couldn't
so
even
bad.
picture
we're
it in
talking
my
about mine and
dreams.
Ashley's parts, and We Will Rock You. We're both trying to get used to how
That'll never
over the top
happen.
those
If
characters are.
if I sound even halfway genuine, halfway is literally all that I'm going for. Like if I don't make you laugh when I say baby on stage, then I will have done my job and We Will Rock You.
Yeah,
Right.
because when I see it, I'm definitely gonna laugh. You're
No.
definitely gonna hear me.
No.
And
Oh,
then you're
shit.
gonna see my face in a spoon, and it's just gonna be over.
You can't say that
all of
when
the
you know
inside
that
jokes right now. I'd
Yeah.
love to be a part of one someday.
you never will be. I'll make sure
Thank
of it.
you. Thank
kidding,
you.
Michael, I
Anyway,
love you.
Here we go. Okay.
any thoughts?
Oh.
Any disagreements here?
I hated Robert California the first time that I watched that season.
Really?
Same.
Yeah, he bugged me. I thought he was weird, and he was. And plus,
Right.
Yeah, that's like his whole thing is being quirky
I don't
and
know.
weird.
I love David Wallace. He's nice to look at.
Oh, you think David Wallace is hot?
Hot take.
Nice. I like it. No, it's good.
The nerdy guy with the glasses. I don't know.
But
that
he's
seems to be my type, I guess.
tall and everything.
He's
I
not
get
bad
it.
for a
I get
nerd.
it.
It's
No.
true. He is, as long as you know he's a nerd.
Yeah.
Right.
James
He's a good-looking
Spader
nerd.
is
Short and pudgy. Is that what you're trying to say?
just kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, After
Maybe
I watched
that's
it
it.
multiple times,
Right.
I actually think he's hilarious.
Maybe
I
that's
like him better now, but he gives me creep vibes.
Oh, he's absolutely
He still
creep,
gives
but
me
I
the
think they're
creepiest
supposed
of
to be.
vibes.
They have to be all different.
But it brings such
He's
a
just
weird
so good at it.
Dynamic.
Yeah, it brings such a unique dynamic to the office because they're all just like,
Not knowing what to think.
Like, it's like what Jim says. He's like, I don't want him to talk to me, but I do want him to
Yeah.
talk to me. That whole thing.
Well,
yeah.
and I think the fact that you lost some of Michael's like crazy, weird
Hmm.
creepiness that he had in a different
You
way.
need some of
And-
that.
You had to have somebody to like bring that back into the show,
Right.
Because Andy wasn't really that person,
Right. Well, this isn't a hot take. Andy, after season 7, got so stupid. I hated him.
Yeah,
in 8
he
and
like
9.
completely changed as a character.
He changed in 8 and then changed again in 9, and neither of them were good choices.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Sorry, Nard Dog.
I wonder how much of that was him and how much of that was.
it's the writers.
Yeah.
You know, the writers have to do something with these characters, and Ed Helms was such a big name back then that you have to
But
keep
are
him
you
involved,
sure
you know?
though? Because there are some things that I think could really make you hate Michael Scott, and he's so lovable. Like literally,
That's
no
true.
matter what he does.
Well, you can. We're
I
just
wanna- I've
dissecting
never-
the whole
I've
show
never
right now, and I
known
love
someone
this.
that I
So
wanted
that's what the new
to
podcast
punch
is?
in the
Let's do it.
face
Let's do
so
it.
badly. Do you know
But
what I mean?
No, I think you're right. And I think that they realized that because in those first 6 episodes of that first season, they wrote him to be like Ricky Gervais's manager, and it just didn't work because Michael was too likable. So they
I'm surprised
switched.
how much I love him because he does all of the things that I literally loathe.
Right. If you had him as a boss, you would be
Well,
like
I've
HR
told-
every day.
I've told
Right.
Michael that I have known people, like I've known a person specifically like that in life, and it was tough for me. Like I struggled with it because I wanted to hate that person, but they had the best intentions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I couldn't hate him, and yeah, now Michael Scott can pretty much do no wrong for me because he's just like oh Michael, like
Yeah, I agree.
you know what I mean? Then how
Yeah.
often? Oh, Michael. I do
What?
that to Michael all day.
Oh, right.
See? He's used to it.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
I love him so much, and I didn't think that I would. And I feel like it could maybe be, what I'm trying to say is it could maybe be a little bit on Ed. Because
Right.
he's just straight up hateable.
Maybe. Anyway.
This is a different topic. He like fell in love with Erin, dumped her.
Who you love so much, so you're going to hate him because she's the sweetest.
Right.
ever.
She moved to Tallahassee. He went and got her, brought her back.
that chick
left
is-
on a fucking boat. Mm-hmm. Like he was just the worst.
That's-
I had
Yeah.
to stop rooting for
Guys,
him.
that's
Right.
my literal favorite character, though, is the lady that she works
The
for.
old woman?
I think she might be my actual favorite character. With those bazongas?
Where's the ring, Lancelot?
Body and those, just the way she says it, Lancelot. With that body and those
Oh, my hell. Anyway.
Anyway,
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Robert California.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I think
Wow,
he was
good.
probably the better. I did love David Wallace, but he also went crazy. You know?
I will say
Right.
that I'll agree with Tasha in that I like, not you, Michael, but Tasha.
Right.
In that I like Robert's character the more that I watch him.
Okay.
I warm up to him
All right.
more each time I watch him.
So maybe that's it.
Which is
But
never,
yeah,
'cause I
just
watched the
feel like a
first
lot
half.
of people are going to disagree, and so I have to defend him. I
Who
have
do
to
you
defend
think people will say that they liked most?
of the managers.
Yeah.
Probably David Wallace, right?
Yeah,
Or
he's like a
Jan.
pretty
Jan is
likable
my
character.
favorite character in the series,
Michael
honestly,
loves Jan, and I.
But-
So why didn't you choose her then?
because she is better when she's not the boss.
Oh, that's fair.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Jan though.
lovely Jan.
She's
lovely,
the best.
lovely Jan.
I used to be so offended that Michael told me that she's who I would be in the office.
And now you're
If
like,
anyone-
yeah.
but now
yeah.
I feel great about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's totally
She's
true.
amazing.
Anyway, that's my hot take. Sticking to it. But
I'll probably just do this one literally just because I don't think this is nearly as much of a thing anymore, but I'm just going to say it because it's how I've always felt. And it would have been controversial like 85 years ago.
Salem has another battery in his mouth.
Where's he getting batteries?
Salem has another bat from the controller.
Oh, he's so smart.
Okay, I'm hoping that I'll say this one and that hopefully Tasha will disagree.
Oh, God.
It's not my best one. It's just, and that's why I'm happy about the rapid fire later. We can do those.
Okay.
I feel and have always strongly felt, keep in mind, this is old news,
Oh God. Okay.
but I don't care. I've always
Okay,
felt
go.
this way. You talked about NSYNC, so we're fine in Backstreet Boys.
Here we go.
Channing Tatum is not even close to hot and is literally...
Ooh.
He literally looks as unintelligent. I'm sure he's a very nice man. He literally looks as unintelligent as he sounds.
Wow.
He looks as dumb as he sounds, which is very much that.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
This is a good
Again,
hot take.
I'm
I think
sure-
a lot
I'm
of
sure
people will
he's
disagree.
a very nice person.
I like it, Tasha.
But he's not hot.
No, he's not hot.
No, he's hot.
Would you
Here
do
we
him?
go. Would you do Channing
Question
Tatum?
is
Not.
would you do him?
Yes.
He's not hot.
Is he hot?
Tasha,
No.
what are your thoughts?
He is hot.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm not just going off of a strictly like facial hot.
Right.
He has a very nice
Well, of
body.
course you're going off of how his body looks. That's the only hot thing about him. His face is...
So you agree that...
Oh. I just... Abuse.
He also can dance, which is incredibly
Ooh,
sexy.
there you go.
That's cool.
See, because they made...
I can dance. Am I automatically incredibly sexy because I
Yes.
can dance? I can't dance like Channing Tatum. But
So my thing is they made 2 movies literally about how hot he
maybe
is.
I should just talk about his face then, because the face is what turns me off.
Okay.
Let me look at his face.
It's not great. It's not.
No, we're gonna fight, but let me look at his
Okay.
It's not the hottest face. It's just not.
Did either of you guys see Foxcatcher?
And he looks so darn to me.
That sounds like a movie that's
that's
too smart
mean.
for me.
Hey,
probably.
Steve Carell's in that, so
Didn't
there you
I-
go. But
Oh, I didn't see
he played a wrestler in it, and
a
they
rustler
like made him look more like a caveman to me. And
to me.
So he
Yeah.
doesn't take great pictures.
No, he
oh, there
doesn't
it is.
have a great looking face.
I think Tasha just admitted.
No, he does. I'm just trying to find a good one.
Okay, but listen, I'm not saying
doesn't look just at his body.
Listen, I'm not just saying passing him on the street. I'm talking about for how much people ran.
What? Okay.
That's not him.
They just
That is
found a
funny.
photoshopped picture of Channing Tatum, like fat Channing Tatum. Oh my hell! You need to send that to me because this needs to be.
In the
This is
comments.
the picture of the podcast episode.
Okay, I'll save it.
Tasha, I just want to
He looks better with that look to me.
Guys, I want to clarify.
No.
Okay. Tasha and I might be done professionally after this. You and I are done professionally. No, I just want to clarify. I'm not talking about if you pass him on the street, is he a good-looking guy? No, I'm talking about for how people rant and rave
Like
about him.
Right.
sexiest guy
Is he
on earth.
deserving of that? Abso-freaking-lutely not.
Because
No.
they made these 2 movies about how hot he is. You're saying
yes.
that he didn't
And
deserve
I'm mostly
that.
talking about his
But
face.
look at his face. He looks good.
He looks like he doesn't have a brain in there. There's no brain in there.
Can I see?
And he sounds like that too.
No.
Michael, there's no brain up in there.
I think he looks fine.
No.
This is a good picture of him, actually.
Thank
You found like
I
the
mean,
one
I
good picture of him.
all the way down.
And Tasha's like, thank you. And then he's giving him a backhand.
He's not giving me a backhanded compliment. I'm not Channing
He's like,
Tatum.
you found the one good picture.
Oh my hell! Yeah,
well,
that's.
listen.
No.
Oh, man.
And now find just a normal picture.
I looked at a lot of
Is
those.
it Ashley? Is it the ears? I think that's the most
No.
striking feature of him.
No, it literally.
I would agree with that.
He
Yeah.
just
He has big ears.
looks to me.
Looks like my brother.
Michael. No, he literally looks like there's no one home to me. And then when you listen to like interviews of him,
But
I
then you
just said like, but you know, he says like a lot. He doesn't come across as very intelligent. I've always thought that he just sounded like the definition of a meathead, just a tool.
What movies?
And not that he's mean,
What
but-
movies of his have you seen?
I've seen Step Up. I actually have seen some of Magic Mike.
Really?
Yeah, what else has he been in? Because
Dear John.
I've seen Dear John, and I've seen what's that other one with him, and he's like a
Is it Jonah Hill? 21 Jump Street?
that. Yep,
Okay.
I've seen that.
I haven't seen that one. I'm jealous. that
Smells
you have.
good.
I've seen that.
Really?
I don't know why.
Tasha's literally sniffing the mic.
I had 3
Cover.
shots of Fireball.
Yep.
Is that what it smells like?
And it
what
smells
else
like
has he
pine
been
trees.
Because so far, guys, I've seen him in everything that we have named.
Foxcatcher is the best one that he was really good at
Let's pull up
Foxcatcher.
some IMDb.
There we go. Tasha is our Google for the night,
Yes,
which
I'm
is
so good at
perfect.
internet.
Yes.
Okay, but if you guys have seen it and I haven't, then that's maybe one thing. So if we got
Well, that's
Foxcatcher,
right.
but But I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot
you've
of
seen
things.
him at his hottest, I think, was Dear John.
And it's nothing,
I haven't seen
it's
Magic Mike,
nothing
but-
against him. It's just that everybody rants and raves, and it makes me harder on him. Do you know what I mean? So I look at him and I'm like, nah.
I get that.
Yep.
I get that because I am.
you
Matthew
have such high
McConaughey.
hopes.
Matthew McConaughey for me.
I
Is
love
that-
Matthew McConaughey.
I never thought he was hot.
I loved Matthew
I love him.
McConaughey until Magic Mike. And then he just stood out to me as like creepy old guy that's trying too hard. And I know that
get
that was
that.
his character, but
I get that.
Yeah.
I thought he was really, really hot in his younger days. Like
Yes.
when we did like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And,
Ugh.
like,
He always looked like he
out
smelled like piss
of
to me.
my house.
I think he does because he doesn't wear deodorant.
Right.
It smells like this.
What is this?
Okay,
Piss
This
with
is
ink.
piss.
See,
Piss with ink.
Magic Mike, 22 Jump Street. He's done a lot of cartoons
Animated
recently.
voices.
Don
That's he did the voices, guys. He
Oh,
did
he was
the
in the
voices.
Bow with-
No. I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Guys,
I saw that too.
He did the voices because you can't see him in those.
Do you think you wore a paper bag in the
Maybe.
recording?
No,
I
but
think he was at his
that's-
hottest in Step Up. And it might just be because he was dancing.
And that was the first time that I saw him, and that was when I literally
he was
was
in
like,
She's the Man.
oh yeah. But you know
Oh
what?
my God, I
Back in the
forgot he was
day.
Step
in the-
Up
yeah.
is
That was like his thing.
Yeah.
Step Up was the big thing where I was like, and you know what? I can appreciate a good dancer, so I probably was turned on by the dancing, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But just when he would talk,
Sorry, Michael.
Yeah.
no, just when he would
You
talk,
have to wash that seat down after this.
Michael, he's second only to you in the
Thank
dancing
you.
department. No,
Yeah.
but when I would listen to him talk, I think for me though, a big thing is I'm attracted to intelligence. So I'm gonna retake that. Shut up. I'm attracted to intelligence.
Okay, I'm going to give you
And-
that it looks like there's nothing behind his eyeballs.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I just
so
wanna
you're
say-
convincing Tasha on your hot
I
take
would
here.
probably be more likely in real life to go for a little bit more nerdy than somebody who was hot and there
So
was nothing
more
there.
of a David Wallace than a Charles Minor.
Probably.
Wow.
But
What about you?
But I don't
Charles
really love-
Minor or David Wallace?
Oh, it's a bad example.
David Wallace.
All right. I like it. Charles Minor, he just got named as the sexiest
He
man
did.
of the year.
I
do
actually
think
really
he's
like
a
Idris.
very sexy man.
Yep, I really like Idris
I think we need to name some.
because he's in that movie.
Oh,
He's the husband in
that
that.
was the biggest leap.
It was reaching.
Sorry. So we have a wooden board here that says "I am
Take a picture
Beyonce
so we
always."
can put it in the comments
I
so
will.
people can
Right.
see what we're talking about.
And then Ashley points at it and he's like, "I am Beyonce always," because Idris Elba's in what is that movie called?
Obsessed
Obsessed. That's right.
with Beyonce and
the
Ali
biggest,
Larder.
like, whoa, random out of nowhere. Anyway,
Reaching.
so Channing Tatum.
Okay, I'm gonna
Is
read.
he hot?
I'm gonna read the last few people's sexiest men
Okay, this is
of the
good.
year.
This is
I
good.
want to see what your like type.
Oh, are
is,
you
or
looking
what
for
your-
who I agree with?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Idris, obviously.
He's a great looking dude, but
Blake Shelton.
no.
That was the stupidest choice for sexiest man.
I
Yeah.
think he's
No.
sexy. I don't think he's the sexiest.
I don't think
but
he's sexy at all. I'd hang out with him.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No.
I don't think he is either.
Really?
No.
David Beckham.
Let me see him.
You know who David Beckham
He's a
is?
soccer player. He's married to Posh Spice.
Yeah, he's hot.
All right, cool.
He's probably the hottest so far for me.
Chris Hemsworth.
You like Thor?
He's another one that I have a hard
That's a
time.
bad picture.
That's
I
a bad.
hate
That is.
that look on him. He looks like he's back in the 90s.
He probably looks.
So are we going off just the
Have you
picture
you
on
haven't
there?
seen Thor
No, I don't wanna go
Ragnarok? Have
off
you
of
seen
that.
Thor Ragnarok?
Yes, I have.
That's the hottest Chris
I mean,
Hemsworth.
he has long hair.
He's
That's
alright.
that hot though. I
Okay,
don't
so
think.
you don't think he's
No, he's not. Somebody,
Adam Levine.
I think Adam Levine's hot.
There's our Channing.
No.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
He's intelligent.
Yeah, he's all right for me.
Oh God.
It's because he's so hyped up.
Ryan Reynolds.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Yep. I actually really have always loved him.
Hugh
Still?
Jackman. Hugh Jackman.
He's hot. I don't really care about him.
Tasha's face is when Ashley
Matt Damon.
responds
This
to
is
these.
terrible.
Nope.
Look at those hairs.
Oh my goodness!
No for
How
Matt.
long ago was this? Because this is getting back
2007.
It's a
into.
no for Matt.
Oh wow!
All right. I think we've done enough.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your man.
Yeah, I
Matthew
one?
McConaughey.
McKinnon.
I like that.
All right, fine. We're done. I don't have
All right.
anything else to say about
Okay.
this.
All right.
Except for you have to, but it's your turn.
Oh, not about this though.
All right. Well, let's move on, Tasha.
Okay.
Next one.
I am going to completely destroy my credibility.
Here we go.
In the theater community,
love
which
it.
I'm not sure that I have, but
You do, Tasha.
No, you do until
this
tonight.
is a
Here we
hill
go.
that I die on.
Uh oh.
Brian Aaron can vouch for me on this.
Okay. Do they agree with you?
I think because I've screamed at them so many times,
They're
they've
scared
just
of you now.
started to like.
I'm getting scared by this one now.
No,
because if Aaron and Bryant do agree with you, I don't know if I'm going to. If
No,
that
they
makes
don't
sense.
agree.
She said they don't.
All right, here we go.
I just yell at them and they get sick of it. I don't know.
Sure, here we go.
I liked Russell Crowe as Javert in Les Mis.
Yes, this is what this show
This
needs
is,
right now.
This is.
Oh my God.
Because no. No.
What? Okay, let's
Tosh!
let her explain herself.
There is no explanation for this.
Go ahead, Tasha.
Okay, first of all,
She pulls out like a scroll.
Right.
he didn't cast himself in that movie.
Okay.
That doesn't make it right. She's pinching my underarm fat.
Mostly with your sweater, but whatever. I also think he's a great actor.
He is a great actor.
Yeah,
of
it wasn't
course.
about that. It was about the other
It's about
distraction.
him being a character. And he was a good actor.
But you know why people didn't like him in that movie.
His voice.
The voice was awful.
It was,
He wasn't the only awful person.
but he was the most awful person.
Do you agree that he was the most awful in that movie?
No, I don't.
Who was the most awful? Was it Amanda Seyfried?
She's. Amanda Seyfried was not worse.
No, it wasn't. He might have been the worst, but
Okay. There we go.
I still liked him.
You feel how you feel, Tosh. Good for you, man.
The problem for me with what you're saying, I definitely understand. Russell Crowe is one of the best actors probably ever. Mm-hmm. He's such a... It's what am I trying to say? That role is a smaller role.
Right.
So for me, you don't need that acting gravitas as much, if that makes sense. So you can get someone that can sing it well and can also still bring the acting part of it.
Priorities.
But you don't need to prioritize acting over singing, if that makes sense.
I think a lot of
It's
times.
been so long since I've seen it. I just remember.
Should we watch
I
it right
remember.
now?
No.
Live watch.
Do you guys have 5 hours?
Yeah.
While we discuss through it? No. That was my takeaway, though, was that I just have to go off of what my takeaway was at the time, 85 years ago, and that's that he was so bad.
Another problem with
vocally.
it, he probably could have sounded better if they didn't do the singing live.
which is what I was just going to
Everybody sounded a little worse.
Yeah.
Because
But I
of
loved that.
I did too,
I thought that
to
was
an
great.
extent.
I loved it, and most of it, there were pieces I didn't
I
love.
could
Right.
appreciate it.
Well, the problem
So you know
too,
there are going to be flaws. So you have to know
I
that.
like what they were trying to do with it.
Yeah.
right. But how many takes do you do
Exactly,
for
and that's
musicals?
what
You're
it is.
singing
It's
it
like-
over and over. It's going to hurt your
With a
voice.
movie, yeah.
Right. It's going to sound
It's not going to be the same as singing on stage
But it
when
didn't.
you get it out
But
once.
it didn't sound like the voice was gone. It sounded like the voice was bad. There's a difference
Russell,
between.
yes.
There's a difference between what we just watched with Rent Live, where the voice was just gone. For who was it? Angel, which happens, and Mimi,
Mm-hmm.
where the voice was just gone, but you know
can
that
tell
the
it's
voice is
there.
there. Yeah, yeah. And the
I'm
voice
not,
is just not.
My hot take is not that Javert was the best singer.
Right,
In
sure.
You mean
Les
Russell?
Mis. Yes.
That's the character he played.
I know,
Ashley.
but let's talk about Russell. Let's pin it on who.
Okay,
and it's
what do you
Russell.
think of Russell
You're
Crowe as an
attacking
actor?
me.
I thought
Ashley.
he was. I thought that he's great.
He was
fine.
good in that role
Yeah.
as far as acting goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys
I
remember?
wanted to like him.
Do you guys remember his death scene?
Yes, that's the part that I do remember.
Do you remember
Don't hurt
how ridiculous and goofy it looked as he fell
Yes.
into that river?
Yes.
Yes, but I think
That
that
is-
it probably would have looked that way no matter who fell.
Probably. It was
Basically,
probably
it was
director's
really
problem.
goofy because he kind of bounced.
That
which I didn't
probably
wanna see.
that
Right.
probably wasn't on him. Where the
Right.
voice, I think, was not that he took the part. We've
Sure.
discussed this.
No, I know.
Yes, not that he took the part, but the vocals not being there. That's on him and the person who cast him. But yes, however it was filmed, however it was shot. If the death scene looked cheesy, which it did, then
Right.
that's probably not on Russell.
Probably not. True.
Yeah.
So I think that this also probably comes from like Hollywood making all these movie musicals feel like they need to bring in like
Big names.
Big names, exactly. So they brought in Tom Cruise, who actually did pretty well in Rock of
Amanda
Ages.
and
But yeah, Amanda, Hugh Jackman, who both did good to me.
Anne.
Anne Hathaway, exactly.
She did
but
good.
Mm-hmm.
is this more a problem with Hollywood trying to make actors into singers?
Yes. It really
Okay.
is. I mean, I would much rather, even with the musicals that they've been doing on TV, I mean, I would much rather have all Broadway people in
Me
those
too.
I would too.
shows.
Yep.
And I
Me too.
understand that that's not really a realistic expectation because they're not going to pull their audiences
Right.
to TV shows
think people are
with
a
people
lot-
they don't know.
What did
Well,
you
people are
think of
harder,
Rent Life? What did you
too,
think
on-
of the cast with that?
I thought that it was mostly good.
We did too.
Yeah,
Because I don't, besides Mario, I guess, they
problem
didn't
is-
have many big names
But
on
when
that
it's
one.
a big name, don't you put like so much more pressure on that person? Because
Yeah.
you know that we all did. Like right before Vanessa came out, we were like, "Oh, Marine's
Girls
coming,
saved
like
it.
she
Right.
better."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Carrie Underwood got slaughtered for Sound of Music
yeah, and
justly,
I think that,
but
like I said,
and
tend
she's got
to-
an amazing voice.
I tend to jump to but she was a terrible actor.
Yeah,
so bad.
And I tend to protect the people that everyone comes at really harsh. And that was Carrie. That was Russell. Like,
you can see the good in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you're getting anywhere by attacking them. Like, they're
Right.
humans. They have feelings.
Well, that's the
like-
problem is that it's not really. I mean, of course they were going to take the opportunity, so it's not really like an injustice on their part. It's more so the people that decided to cast them if they had better options.
Right.
It just is.
Yeah. So, talking about Rent Live, I was at Aaron and Bryant's this morning, and we found an audition video of Todrick Hall auditioning to be Angel. And
made a good choice.
It was ridiculous.
For Rent
He
Live?
was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think that, what was Valentina? Is that who it was?
Yeah, that was her
I
name.
think that obviously she looked the part because she's actually a drag queen, but the vocals weren't there.
And
Right.
for Angel, come on, like that's
And, like,
so important that like the
Todrick was
heart is there.
splitting and kicking, and like he
Sure.
actually has that like powerhouse voice. So when I saw the audition, I was mad because I was like, he has name recognition.
Yeah.
I know Todrick Hall more than I know Valentina, but
But I wonder if the people casting Rent were like, oh, we actually have to get a drag queen. You know, if
Politics.
there
There's
was
politics
some,
everywhere.
some weird thing with that too. But
We'll never know.
anyway, going back to Les Mis, I definitely think that Russell Crowe was the worst part of that.
okay.
But
Not
did
Russell's
he
fault. It's not
detract
your fault,
from how
Russell.
much I enjoyed the movie? No.
Yeah.
So I will agree with you
But
on
I
that.
did walk away laughing about that. That's all.
But that was like an afterthought to me because I was thinking
was.
Hugh Jackman was awesome, Anne Hathaway was awesome.
Yeah.
It was beautifully shot and everything.
Yeah.
So
I just think he looks like a puppy dog,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it makes me sad.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because I think he probably is sad about people
He's
talking about him.
adorbs. I agree. It's true, and I don't think a lot of people stop to really consider that.
I
That
just
it's-
think a lot of people don't stop to consider that about most people.
it's
Sure.
not on that person. Because what are you going to do? Like, if somebody came and offered you that role, would you take it? You would. You'd be like, I'm going to work my ass off, and I will take it. But
I would not take Javert because I do not look like a Javert yet. Maybe in like 50 years.
Michael, no one's
but-
going to offer you Javert. So just
Oh my God.
right
Actually,
now,
I'm offering
right
the
now,
meanest thing you've ever said to me.
right now in this moment.
I get you. I get you.
But yeah, I just think that it's important that I put that into the
I
universe.
think you're sweet.
I think
That sounds patronizing.
it does a little bit.
I think that is so sweet of you. I really do. I think sometimes I feel that way. Like I just feel like bad for certain people, and
Definitely.
I try to have that other point of view. It's really easy when people are coming at people to be like, to like step back and be the one who's not going to be that way.
Well, you were like that.
I'm
just
sure
to kind
he-
of divert a little bit. You were like that with all the
Yeah, well,
Empress
because
stuff.
you don't like confrontation either. And so I
Right.
feel like you're very good at pulling back and not
I don't,
attacking
'cause
because
if-
everyone else is.
Yeah, if people, I just try not to be the one to like, obviously I have opinions, but I don't throw mine out there. Most of it, I'm not going to give myself that much credit because most of it is that I just usually don't trust my opinion. So this is actually a big deal for me to be on here because if somebody, like if everybody was like, no, that's wrong, you're so wrong, I'd be like,
I get that,
I'd
too.
be like, okay,
Yeah.
you are right, I am wrong.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
You're gonna change your mind about Thanksgiving food?
No, nope. I told you guys that I feel that in the depths of my soul.
All right.
I've just
And
started
if I'm
fighting
wrong,
with a
I'm
lot of
wrong.
people on the internet. And so I think that makes you feel like your opinion is right.
You just fight till they say it's right.
Right. Exactly.
They never are going to say it's right, but at least
you
you
know they
believe
know.
it.
Right.
You tell
All right.
yourself. You go
They
to sleep
don't know,
telling
we
yourself
know
that
they
they
know.
We know. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
perfect.
okay. So Tasha, to sum up, Russell Crowe.
I just liked him as
She
Javert
liked
in Les
Javert.
Mis.
Okay.
But,
Shh.
Be sure to look out for part 2 of this episode coming very soon.
As always, the Midvale Main Street Theater podcast is sponsored, funnily enough, by the Midvale Main Street Theater. Check out new and exciting updates on everything going on at the Midvale Main Street Theater by going to www.midvaletheater.com or check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Midvale Main Street Theater. You can find show notes and much more by going to our podcast's Facebook page at facebook.com/MMST podcast. Special thanks to Ashley Howell, Joel Clark, and Matthew Petrucci for help making this show happen. I owe you guys the world. I've been Michael Howell, and this has been the Midvale Main Street Theater podcast. The views expressed have been mine alone and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Midvale Main Street Theater, its owners, or volunteers. If you've liked what you've heard today, please consider finding the Midvale Main Street Theater podcast on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or whatever podcast listener you're using and dropping us a 5-star review. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at MMST Podcast. Thank you very much, and until next time, we'll see ya.